loves, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jess from Bahati Life. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can't see me, but I'm here, I promise, and I have 4 cards here pulled for each of us. Now, the focus of this reading, this pick a card reading, is about the journey. It is about why you are on this journey at this point in your life, at this time of you watching this video, because this video is timeless. It's explaining to you why you are here, what you need to hear, and kind of unpacking it, and then also helping to give you a message to help you as you continue on. Now, I was sitting at my altar last night and I was thinking about my own journey while I have unpacked and I've looked at everything, and then I'm asking myself, or kind of re-examining why I was here, why I was brought here at this point in my life, and what do I want to do, and where do I want to go as I carry on as a traveler in my own life, along my own path. So this reading is destined to give additional clarity and insight into your own personal journey. Now, again, these readings are always general, so this is for a general audience, and take it as you will, take it as it resonates. But for the most part, this is card number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and I'm setting the intention that the message that you receive, let it be like it's quenching your thirst of, okay, this is why, this helps me, my spirit is filled. That's the intention that I'm setting. Just like if you were walking miles through a desert, or biking, going anywhere, and you've been going on this journey and you take a drink and it just quenches you, that's what I'm hoping and setting the intention for, that this reading will do that for you. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and dive in. I'm not gonna take too much time, and I'm gonna start with card pile number 1. Now, I haven't seen these cards yet, so this is a surprise to me. We have the Sun card, we have the Blade, we have the Raven, Synchronicity, Coincidence, Magic. We have Ascending the Mountain, Keep Going Forward. We have Begin Now, Take Your First Step. Gratitude. Intention. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm working from my camera or my phone because my camera and my MacBook both crashed. The Queen of Swords, the 5 of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. And then also we have the card of Love. First thing I want to say is I feel as though your journey in this life, where you're at now, you're at a point where you are just beginning. Legit, it's like this new, okay, now we're going. Now we're taking that first step. For some of you guys, you're like, Jess, no, I've been on this journey for a minute. It's not how you measure it, it's how Spirit measures it. And I feel as though you have had to recently cut out something or someone within your life that you genuinely did not want to cut out. It almost seems unnatural that Spirit or your ancestors and your guides would even call out to you and tell you to release it, to let it go, to let it die. That no matter how much you love it, no matter how much you care about it, no matter how much you thought that you wanted to bring this with you as you move on in your life, so many signs, so many things were telling you that it's time for you to ascend this mountain without them, without that. And it just seems so unnatural and so unlikely that something that you care about so deeply is something that would be the first thing that you would have to give to the flames. Even as I'm saying this, I just looked over at my Pluto Death Oil. That's where you guys are at. You have so many cards around here that are all about the mind. It's your angels, your guides, your spirit at this point along your journey are telling you, listen, it's not that we're ignoring the heart, and we are not trying to tell you to ignore the heart. We just need you to see the signs of transformation that are happening around you and feed the flames of that those things that you didn't want to let go of, that you felt so uncomfortable letting go of, that you had to release them. You genuinely had to release them. At this point in your journey, the spirits, your guides, your angels are telling you that it's time to pull out of that heart space. Even though the things that you're doing, it's out of love, but you actually taking this step and having this sword, you know what I mean? Definitely with Queen of Swords, definitely with Knight of Swords. It's about using your power from the mind, through your intention, through your will, and transcending the limitations that sometimes the heart can bring. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because the heart when it loves something, what can't it do? But sometimes it feels as though you have learned, at least at this point in your journey, the reason or the thing that you've been learning the most is how to separate yourself from following blindly, your heart and this thing that, you're soft for, or this person that you've been soft for. Because for whatever reason, the universe, or at this point in both of your journeys, that person and you, or this part in your life, or this career, or whatever, it's not going to serve you. So now you have to do this phase of your journey alone. I want to tell you that you need to hear that it's going to feel unfair. That if you have been feeling like your path up until this point has been unfair, you're accurate. That's right. It's like your brain is saying to yourself, like, this has not been fair. If I looked at all of the facts, I would be disappointed in how things played out for you. I would be disappointed. I would be frustrated. I would be like, wow, she or he did not deserve that. She or he deserved more. And it's sometimes our hearts that would keep us in that same space because we know that we deserve more. And why wouldn't we get that from whoever or whatever? But that's why I'm saying sometimes it's your heart that will keep you in a space that you don't need to be in. You would stay in this space of 5 of Cups, or maybe someone or something departed and left out of your life, and you're sitting there trying to harden yourself, trying to make sense of it all, trying to do this alone. And really what you need to, and I think the biggest thing that's going to quench you right now is just realizing that, because at the start of this reading with this journey, I realized like so many of you guys have been on this path. This path has been unfolding for quite some time. And my intention was that this message would quench your thirst, that it would quench your spiritual self, that it would quench your soul and provide nourishment for you so that you can carry on feeling strong and have faith in your future. And really what I feel like what's going to quench you is the fact that, again, Spirit is telling me to tell you that the sequence of events were not fair. They did not, how things unfolded in your life up until this point, or this one thing that is frustrating you the most, it wasn't there, it didn't happen in the way that it did in order to be fair for you in this case, in this moment. It actually, interestingly enough, its purpose was to teach you compassion. This is wild to me, sitting here talking to you guys about it, but that's what I'm seeing when I'm looking at intention sitting next to gratitude. Gratitude is taking what the universe has given you, despite your intention, despite what your energy would naturally align with. Sometimes things come into our lives and we embrace them and we accept them, and it doesn't work out, or it's something that hurts us or frustrates us or disappoints us, right? It puts us in this 5 of Cups energy, and we get upset and we take it in our brains and we say, well, why? I did not deserve that. Again, Spirit is telling me to tell you that it's not that you deserved it. It actually, a part of this was to teach you to get into this space of compassion and to do things, to really stand on your own 2 feet. And when I'm seeing these cards, gratitude, I do think that gratitude by itself is important, but you have to, the message that I'm getting with this is realizing, especially with this crown, your power is going to come from realizing that, the way things have come to you, it's not that you don't deserve more. You actually give gratitude for what the universe has brought you up until this point, despite how fair you think it was. I can tell you now, looking at these cards, that you deserve more than what it is that you've received ultimately. But I'm also feeling like this has been a weird blessing for you to teach you how to have compassion for yourself and for others, despite the obstacles, despite that you deserve more, despite the fact that you could have received more. And that's why it's so hard for you, because you are a compassionate person. But right now in this journey where you're learning to kind of pull up out of your heart a little bit, a lot of it actually, and to anchor yourself in, okay, I have to do what is right for me. I have to honor myself. It seems kind of crazy. It doesn't even make sense for me to, approach this with so much compassion, because a lot of me wants to like lash out or, reject some things or give this hot blade, you know what I mean? This blade, just cut these things out of my life, which, excuse me, I feel like you have. But I feel like it's time in this journey. It's really time for you to do this independently. It's time for you to do this on your own. And by doing that, by pulling up out of your heart and that soft space that you have for others and you being available to others, it actually is the biggest act of compassion for yourself, because you're giving yourself a chance to go on this next adventure and to make this adventure 1000% your own. And I honestly feel as though when you do that, you're going to start seeing these beautiful signs, and your intention is going to switch up and change. And that wouldn't have happened if you stayed at the bottom of the mountain with, you know, whoever or whatever is down there. It's time for you to ascend this by yourself. Even as I'm looking at the love card, all I'm seeing right now is the steps. And it reminds me of ascending the mountain. Keep going forward. Take your first step. Even as I'm looking at this, it's like this person, this traveler is deciding, okay, I love you. I have to leave you. I'm going on this journey. It's not that I don't love you. I do, but I have to ascend this mountain and do this because I have a purpose. I have a light, a beacon that is calling me. There's signs, synchronistic signs that have been showing up that have been calling out. The raven, especially here in New Orleans, it shows up for magic, but it also shows up a lot of times when there's like death or things that are changing. Sometimes it could be death, literally like an animal has died, or the energy has died in some way, but it shows up when there's people around and there's transformation, there's magic, there's things that we can't see, that hidden realm. So I really feel like you're hearing this call, this dark call at this point in your life. And it's when you are, it feels like you're in mourning. It feels like your energy has been kind of low. It's when you're in that space that you decide, okay, you know what? I really am listening to what these signs and these signals have been giving to me. I'm going to follow the light and I'm going to ascend this. I have to go this journey alone. I really want to say too that it takes a really strong person to have the level of compassion that Spirit is telling me that you have and that you are developing right now. It takes a really weak person to lash out and to stay at status quo and to stay at base camp with your comfort zones, with the people and the things that you love, knowing that you have a journey to go out and a purpose. It's really easy to fall back and just stay there. Versus you venturing out, it's like you need to be admired. Like that's what Spirit is saying is that, and for me to tell you is like, we admire you. Your strength right now and your courage is admirable. That is what we blessed you with. That's what we've given you. And sometimes it's tough for Spirit, even your angels and your guides, because they understand, like, it's tough sometimes to have gratitude with it. But really, it's not even, yes, have gratitude in those moments because that's going to help you. But I'm also feeling like the reason why this card is showing up is because it is just confirmation that what you've received so far is crumbs to what it is that you're going to receive. That's why you're on this journey right now, is because not everybody is going to get the same thing that you are going to be destined for. Have gratitude and be excited and grateful for that. The fact that you don't have to stay at the base of the mountain, that you are going to ascend it. And any journey is always rewarded. As soon as you get to the top of that mountain, you pass those clouds, you pass the coldness at the bottom of the mountain, and you get to the sun, the rays of the sun. I really feel that way. So it's like Spirit is telling me really to tell you right now, like, it's admirable and courageous what she is doing or he is doing. But they need to hear this. They need to be like quenched, that it's not, they haven't done anything wrong. That it doesn't make sense sometimes. It seems very unnatural to leave the things that you love the most in order to go on to take this path on your own. But if there's one person that's going to do it and there's one person that should do it, it's you. And the reward is going to be great when you get there. Okay? So really take some time to, let me pull this for you guys. Really take some time to sit with what oh goodness, there's a lot of chaos. It's like, I don't know if I said that and you guys started getting excited, but which is good. But let me give you one last card. Yeah, these ones the ocean. Be beautiful, mysterious, wild, and free. There's so much out there for you. Anchor. Keep yourself grounded. I feel like this is legit. You're anchoring yourself. Like, to me, when I see this, I see the anchor dropping into the ocean and going to the bottom. And I feel like what you're doing is you're anchoring yourself and you're making stability for yourself. You're making a solid, this is where I'm safe, this is where I belong, this is what I want for myself. I'm anchoring myself in my intention, because that was one of the cards that you pulled for yourself. I feel like, again, I really want to say this. Sometimes people set intention and the things that they attract don't match their vibration. It's just the fact that they're such a beacon of light. And that's something that really pulled out for you is the Sun card, right? I feel like you're really questioning where it is that you've anchored yourself, and that's why Spirit is telling you, like, listen, there is a whole wide world out there for you. And if you're anchored in things, or if you're locking yourself into things that don't serve you and that are going to hold you back from experiencing the sunlight and the joy and the fame and the recognition that you deserve, then we are going to give you the blade and tell you to cut it. And it's not going to make sense, but you have to do it. You have to go out. You have to be wild. It's going to be reckless. It's going to seem so reckless, but that's going to be the biggest adventure of your life, is where it is that you're headed right now. So believe in yourself, have faith, and do your thing. All right? So let's do number 2. Number 2. For cards number 2, I haven't seen these cards yet. We have the snake. We have the ship. We have the water fairy, feelings and emotions. Okay, I'm already getting the word desire. I feel like this is something I have these cards to pull for you guys, but I want to talk to you about desire. I feel like this point in your journey, especially with this ship, you are being called right now to honor, to respect, and to recognize your desires. I feel as though Spirit is telling me, like, giving me a vision of like a little, like, demon, like little, not demon, like some of you guys are like, what? But it's like this little devil, like the thing that you shouldn't be doing, the things that's tempting you, the things that you look at the snake and you're like, no, 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 I was told that that's not okay. But there's a part of you that Spirit now is saying, like, you desire this. Like, your feelings, your emotions are so important to us. Your desires are not taboo. Most of you guys. I mean, this is a general reading, so I don't know what you guys are doing on your private time, but I'm just letting you know that I'm just getting this feeling of desire. Your feelings, like, even as I'm looking at her, I feel like she's very pure, and she knows herself to be one way. Her identity is this. But she's turning her head over because something is enticing her. It's like she smells something. She's pulling towards something. And she's like, should I? No, I shouldn't. Spirit is saying there's something that you desire that you need to acknowledge, that we are acknowledging it for you, and we're telling you that it's okay. Now, I don't know. I'm going to continue going on. Metamorphosis. This, again, okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to get through this reading for you, but I have to keep stopping. I feel as though this metamorphosis is in the water. I feel as though there's these things that have been lying dormant within you. Your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your heart chakra. These are things that have been transforming. And as they're getting shifted up from the muck, you're starting to realize, like, I know myself to be this way, but there are some things that I truly desire. This is a part of your metamorphosis, and you need to pay attention to that. Spirit is like, look at this. What is enticing you? Okay, what else do we have? Thought, like lost in thought, lost in your thinking. I feel like even she's looking at, like, what is it that I desire? What's beyond that wall? I'm so comfortable here. These are my people. This is my family. This was expected of me. But, like, what is behind that wall? Like, it's everything. To me, what I'm getting from number 2 is it's everything that's taboo. Everything that you shouldn't want, you do want. It's like the forbidden fruit. What's beyond that wall? What's beyond those gates? That's what I'm thinking about. Or maybe there's something that's taboo you shouldn't be talking to, or that you shouldn't want to do. But because it's expectations, or the expectations that you have for yourself, or the family has for you. And you're just like, I want to make myself naked to this. Like, I want to give myself full for this. I want to explore this. I want to indulge in this. But this is how I know to be, and this is the way that my life is supposed to be, and this is the way it should be. Like, no, you have desires. Like, Spirit is really from a pure place. It almost feels like sometimes desire is taboo, but Spirit is saying desire shows you, like, this is what life can give to you, is these fruits, these experiences that are there to quench you. All right, I gotta move on. You're protected by your angels. Any desire that you have, we are going to protect you through it. You are cherished by the angels. You are supported right now. It's like, okay. What else do we have? Stepping into power. This gives me Scorpio vibes. This is stepping me into Pluto, things that are forbidden, things that are taboo, things that are enticing you and pulling you. You are strong beyond measure. Even this guy's like, what is that? I gotta find out. Even as he has the light, he's not even using the light anymore. He is actually moving away from the light. He's going like, what is that? What is that in the distance? I don't even need my light. I'm holding on to it, but it's not even lighting the way. My desire is pulling me. And this guy's like, John, what's going on? You okay? And he'll be like, shh, I gotta go. Like literally, like that's what I'm getting. Wow, I'm done. Oh my God, you guys, what is it that you fucking desire? Pardon my French, I'm so sorry. Literally, okay, the lovers. This is about, see, oh my God, you guys, number 2s, you need to receive this message, like for real. Your angels, right? Archangel Gabriel shows up and says, listen, there is something that you desire. There are things that we have put into your life to pull you together. Desire is not a bad thing. Temptation is not a bad thing. The thing that you think is taboo is not bad. It is what you will have the greatest success. Go to it. Your feelings, your emotions, this is the same energy as the water fairy, the Ace of Cups. Do you see the similarities, the energy, the similarities between the two of them? This desire is actually coming from such a pure space. Meanwhile, you have the woman who desires a deeper connection. That's why she's looking towards spirit. The man desires physical intimacy and attraction. That's the passion. And then the angel, the archangel, desires them to be happy and fulfilled. It's like this trine, this energy that trines itself. Meanwhile, none of these desires are bad. This is human, this is spiritual, or seeking spirituality. This is seeking human and speaking human contact. Your desires right now, whether it's to be partnered up or to express yourself or to have art or to do what's taboo, to travel to what is taboo and forbidden, are things that angels are telling you, listen, you following your desires is you actually stepping into your power in full. I get so much Pluto vibes from this in Scorpio. That's the thing about Pluto, is that it rules temptation, it rules forbidden, the shadow, the things that society teaches us as wrong, just as much as it rules power and intimacy and control and our ability to let our walls down and to allow ourselves to be emotional and naked with something, with someone, to be seen. That's what I'm seeing. At this point in your journey, everything that has brought you right now has brought you, is there to connect you to your desire, to sense it, to smell it, to feel it, to be pulled towards it. It is unmistakable. It is like literally, it's like you're not even making the moves. Spirit, your angels and your guides threw you on the back of a horse and said, we are taking you to your desires. It's like walking into a bakery and smelling the cake and smelling, chocolate, smelling coffee, all of these things, and you're like, which one of these things do I desire the most? And angels say, listen, it's okay. We actually want you to tap into your desires even more and to give them, to make yourself naked for them. And for some of you guys, this is actually sexual, but it's not. It's about the journey to what it is that you desire. Whether it's your art, your career, your passion, it's this vision that you have for yourself that everyone could tell you, but you're fine right here. You're fine in this marriage. You're fine in this career. You have health insurance. Why would you want to go climb up over this wall? Because I'm called to do it. Because I desire it. Because my heart wants to be filled. Because I want to have success here. Because I want to experience this. I want to soar. Like, you don't want to have this steady mundane. Like, you want to soar. That's your feelings and your emotions. Meanwhile, your angels are like, listen, while you step forward, realize that we are protecting you. This card, the Lovers, is definitely the card of desire. But it's so interesting to me that the Archangel Gabriel, the Archangel that works the closest to delivering God's message, is the one who is saying it is okay for you to desire what you want. Not only is it okay, but I am going to carry you to it. I'm going to give you the light so you can see it and sense it even stronger. It's like a person who has been raised by the church or something, and they say, oh, it's wrong for me to, you know, live this life or marry outside of my race or marry someone of a different background. It's like, no, there is no limitations before God, and I am here to tell you that. None of these two people are wrong for what they desire, but they bring different energies. And the archangels, or your angels, is protecting you as you move and travel towards the things that you've been lusting after the most. It's not even lust, but if you've been wanting it the most, that's been the metamorphosis. That's the journey. Your journey actually has been to help you to connect and to disconnect from the things that have limited you. Like your journey has disconnected you from the things that have stripped you of your power. And that's why it makes you so uncomfortable. It's because it feels taboo. It feels like you shouldn't be doing it. I don't know why I want to move this candle right now, but I do. It's moving you away from the things that have been taking away from your power, your desire, and actually plugging you into the things that, you know, you want. Oh my God. Look, even as I'm looking at this, you have these two things that says, I desire you. I desire you. That is pure. The two flamingos, they're partnering with each other. Meanwhile, you have all of spirit just making it all happen. Wait a minute. Do we have the snake? Oh my God. Look, the woman and the snake behind her. Do you see all the similarities? You are so protected right now. I just want to push you. Like, no offense, or I don't want to scare anyone. I just want to push you into this thing that is literally spirit is... Even the times when you are not trying to walk towards it, or your path is not trying to bring you to it, or your intention is not, spirit literally throws you back. Like, I see spirit throwing you on the back of a horse and says, I'm going to take you there. And there's 6 wands here. And there's the card of 6 here. That's what I'm seeing for you. It's like all of these things are telling you to connect with your feelings. It has to fuel you. It has to motivate you. You are being motivated. You are being propelled. You are being pulled. Your heart is quenching something. Your heart needs to be quenched. Passion, love. Give yourself permission. I'm also getting the word piety, and I want to cross it off. I want to be like, no, it's not all about being quote unquote pure in the form, in the way that you thought that you needed to be. You are pure by honoring your desire. If anything, you're more connected to your pureness because you're honoring your feelings and your emotions that are coming from a pure space. And spirit is telling you, we've got your back with this. We actually want you to go forward. Oh my God, I can't wait to see what cards are gonna jump out for you. I'm so excited for card number 2. Wow, breathe. It's like breathing it in. It's like when you step into the coffee shop or the cafe and you're like, oh, I shouldn't. This is taboo. This is forbidden. You just inhale it. Like, my God. Is that chocolate? Yeah. Break from beneath the water's surface and soar up beyond the turquoise sea. This is like, take a break from your walls to breathe, to explore, to experience, to indulge. You've been under and behind and protected and guarded all of this time. This metamorphosis is there to connect you to the life that you desire. God, the divine, wants you to love the crap out of your life. He doesn't, or he or she doesn't want you to be sitting there alone, isolated, dry, barren, without passion, without creativity, without love, expression. He wants you to taste. He wants you to breathe it in, inhale it in, have flowers and luxury and love and passion. That's where your journey up until this point. Chance. Allow the sea to wash its chest of wonders ashore. You never know what the tide may bring. Take a chance on this. Ooh, I love my number 2s. I wish I pulled this one. I picked a different pile. I feel like we have to pull one more. I just have to. I have to. Okay. What do we have? What do we have? What do they need to hear? Okay. Listen, take the helm, and opportunity. You will prove yourself and discover if you brave the seas. I feel like it's like you're really listening to these things that it's like, I really feel like I shouldn't. It's going to make things turbulent. It's going to make people upset. I'm going to have to challenge myself. But you know what? Take the realm and do it. Take the helm and do it. Be in control of your own ship, your own life. There's so much opportunity out there. Listen. The secrets of the sea, so this is what's forbidden, this is what's shadow, this is what you don't know, become apparent when we listen to the sound within the shells. This is something that you guys have been hearing and sensing, and you've been desiring, and you've been pulling towards it. Wow, number 2s. You guys need to comment me down below. I need to get on your level. Comment me down below and let me know what is it that you've been desiring. Your heart has been desiring this. And I want it for you. I am setting the intention that any obstacle that is stopping you from connecting to the thing that you desire the most be completely destroyed. Like the walls that she's been sitting behind, for your own protection. I ask that angels protect you while you do it. But I just ask that you are able to just go out and see the world. You know what I mean? Go out and walk around the marketplace. Connect with a stranger. Paint. Go on a boat. Have an adventure. Dive off a cliff. Write that book. Get those thoughts out. Get that thing published, created, done. Start that business. You've been sensing it. You've been feeling it. People want you. You desire it. It's like you guys are aligning. All right, number 3. Oh, I can't. How do I move on from that? Okay, number 3. Okay. Sorry, number 3. This is actually the cards that I pulled for myself, but number 2's reading was wild. Okay, we have the house and we have the fox. Wealth, which is connecting me to the home environment. Do you see? Uh-oh. You know what I'm getting for those that have been traveling? The things that you've been doing, you are so rooted in it. It's like a vine, no offense. It's like a vine that's invasive and took over the house, took over the home, took over your stability. It's wealthy, it's good, it's secure, but it's limited you. That's what you need to experience. It's like you have to leave this that you've created. You have to open the door, and even when you open the door, I feel like you have to push it out. Like you have to throw yourself up against this door. You don't even want to leave it because you're comfortable where you're at. But you have to push yourself to get out, and it's not even something that you want to do because you're comfortable where you're at. You've come a long way. But something about it's just so, like, as I'm saying this, I feel like it's like something like vines have restricted and confined and blocked the light out, and you've just been like, I'm comfortable here. I have my books, my home, my family, my food, how I want things. Even as I'm looking at this, it's like this fox has to sneak away from the home. And it's like, why do I have to sneak away? Like, why do I have to like find a way to get out? And why would I want to escape this? Why would I want to leave this? There's so many questions, and I haven't even dived into the rest of the cards. Protection. Uh-oh. I feel, okay. I feel like I know where this is going. Making a choice. I feel like I know where this is going. Does that say purity? Yeah. I feel like I know where this is going. I know what this is. Traveling lightly, taking shelter. Wow. The other thing that I'm seeing is frozen. I'm seeing how cold it is out there, and again, the home environment. Some of you guys, oh God, okay, let me see what else we have here. All right, well, look, I'll share those with you in a minute. Some of you guys, along this journey, it's a double-edged sword. Some of you guys, you are in this point in your life where you do have to take shelter. But I want to start off with those of you guys that have been taking shelter, that have been in your home environment, that have everything at your fingertips, and you've been out away from the cold, out away from anything that is uncomfortable. I really want to say, my loves, when I'm seeing travel lightly and purity, you actually, at this point in your journey, you are going to have to confront some things that you have been trying to avoid. And I feel like many of you guys, you've done it because you've learned how to self-protect. You've learned how to build wealth, stability for yourself, and you're going to protect it at all costs. Some of you guys, it's not even physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual protection that has made you like get caught in this home environment or this status quo. This is my root. This is where I am. And you actually have to, in this, you actually have to unpack at this point in your journey. It's going to be so uncomfortable. You have to unpack and really see what you have been carrying. When I see protection, I know some of you guys are like, I've been on this journey, Jess, and protection should be a good thing. I've genuinely, when I saw these cards and I saw the home, I am a Virgo and I love being at home, but I'm only seeing the roots. I'm only seeing the vines. I feel like it's the home environment that you've been sitting in, and over time, you've been doing your work, you've been doing in your relationship, you've been focusing on your health or focusing on whatever. Something has had your full undivided attention right here. You've had all of your needs met right here. You're just doing, grinding, whatever, right here, that you don't even realize these vines have been taking over this status, like your home, this whatever that is, and it's been blocking out the light. And you have to start to see how your comfort zone, which was originally created to protect you, now you have to confront it, and you have to see it for what it is. Even as I'm seeing this card, purity, it's like I see purity, but I also see her eyes. I see her focus. I see her being like, I've worked really hard to protect and to create and to guard what I've been creating. And now Spirit is calling you, even with these things around her head, they remind me of vines. Spirit is calling her to step outside of her comfort zone and see those things. And really, it's like the one thing that makes you uncomfortable. That's why you're here. You created wealth and security and stability for yourself. Outside in the cold, you look at everything that you have right now and you're like, I am fine right here. I don't need to travel. I don't need to do this. I don't need to go there. I don't need to take a risk. I don't need to, challenge my own thinking. My anxiety is just the right level. My depression is just the right level. My lifestyle is just the right level. And in reality, what you're doing is you're staying in just your comfort zones, and you have this in your brain where you're like, I'm pure, I'm fine, I'm good right here. When in reality, you actually are sneaking away from seeing some things and trying to self-protect. You've actually been sneaking away from some things that you need to actually look at. Some things that are really going to make you uncomfortable. You've been running away from it. You've been sneaking away from it. Even as I'm looking at the fox, he's looking back at the crow who says, it's time. The crow shows up and he puts the call out outside of the house to wake everyone up. And the fox is you being like, I'm sneaking out the back door. Or I'm good. I'm not leaving. I can go in and get eggs. I can sleep here and have, be by the warm, cozy fire. I don't need to change anything. Everyone looks at your life and says, look at what they've created. Look at what they've manifested. Look at the wealth. Look at their home. Look at this. And you've been taking shelter in all of this, protecting yourself. And it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good when it was good. It was good when it was good. But sometimes staying in that shelter for too long, you don't even realize that it's getting, covered over by vines. It's getting covered over by, it's blocking out the light. And you actually have to kind of go out and take a little trip and venture out and confront some things. And by trip, maybe it's a physical trip. But I'm really seeing for a lot of you guys, if it is a physical trip, it's there to change your perspective. It's there to change how you've done things. It's considering, making a choice, a decision with, I'm going to see how you do things. I need to change the way that I think things. I need to change the way that I think about things. Do I really want to stay in this comfort of my home with the fireplace and the food and away from the cold? Do I want to stay here? I feel like you will be okay if you stayed where you're at. So many of you guys actually, like my pile number 3, this is the card that I pulled for myself. But you're fine where you're at. But there's a wealth of things that can happen if you just take a quick breather and to make that choice to kind of ultimately leave. And basically what that's going to do, you can always come back. It's not going anywhere, I promise you. It's not going anywhere. But I just feel as though it's time for you to get fresh energy. It's time for you to open the doors up a little bit. And even, remember how I was telling you, as soon as I saw these cards, I almost feel someone has to like, you know, anchor, like literally throw themselves up against the door. It's just, you have to experience a little sense of freedom and a little bit, your perfect world that you have here, that you've created, the abundance, the blessing, the wealth that you've secured for yourself, the comfort. Sometimes you have to kind of step outside of that just for the sake of adventure and freshness. And you're gonna run back home. You're gonna run back to this thing. It's stable, it's wonderful, but it's also really good for you to kind of, you know, see things differently. I'm really getting this sense right now that this home environment, you've taken shelter from things that have really, you've gone through a lot. Number 3, my group number 3s have gone through a lot. And that's why it's like, why would I leave this when I've been through so much? Like, do you see the outside world? Do you see the elements? The ocean is beautiful, but the ocean water and the wind will break down even the strongest things. That's why I've created my safety. That's why I created this, because I never want to experience what I've experienced. I need to protect myself. But even in that protection, I'm so sorry, number 3s, but even in that protection, I feel as though a part of this is this is the world that I've created because I can control it. And I don't want to disrupt that because of everything that I've experienced. This is a group that has gone through some trauma, some really interesting traumas. And they've created from that trauma a world of their own that's safe and solid and theirs. And if this is not you, and you can't relate to this, that's where your journey is bringing you now, is to create that safe space, that sanctuary, that safe haven away from the outside world. You know what I mean? That has wealth, that has security, that is all yours, all your own. Everything, your warm, cozy socks, your favorite foods, your blanket, your pets, your family, everything is just the way you want it to help to protect you. But I'm also getting that some of you guys are taking shelter in things, or you've stayed in a space where you've been sheltering. And it's like, it's time for you to come out. It's time for you to confront that and see, you know, yes, you're going to be uncomfortable, but you have to do it because it's going to give you a greater sense of freedom. You're not going to be limited to just this world, just this space. And some of you guys, I'm actually feeling like you're going to pick up and you're going to take everything that you need, this home environment, this wealth, this security, you're going to take it and you're going to move it. I forget what cards these were. Yeah, this is anxiety. This is a person, again, who's in their home and has had anxiety or had tension, and maybe maybe it's all the excitement, all of what they've built, all of what they've created. That's what I'm seeing with these 2 pages, or the page in the night, is all of the excitement around them and how much of a blessing it is, but also how much it creates internal. And I feel like you have to really look at, this is what's making me uncomfortable, this is what's making me anxious, and you've kind of been running away from it. And building, but you've been running. And it's time for you to kind of face that. At this point in your journey, it's okay for you to take shelter. But that's a part of the purification process, is because you are getting rid of the mucky feelings. You're getting rid of the toxic feelings, the stress, the tension. You know what I mean? You think you're purifying yourself, but really the world outside is frozen and just waiting for you to come back out. So, and some of you guys, again, like, you really are in this like icy space in your life where you are protecting yourself and you're, you know, purifying your energy. Others, a part of the purification is really you examining the things that have been causing you the most stress and confronting them, and then realizing when you confront them, like, literally, I don't have to carry that burden anymore. That no longer is holding me back. I have new life, new vitality, and I have new sense of freedom, because the same things that were mentally restricting me and mentally giving me chaos now no longer confine me. I can't control everything, and the fact that I can't control everything actually gives me so much power, gives me so much freedom. That's what I'm seeing for you. That's actually what purity is. Some of you guys have been in an environment that's been constantly changing, so you take shelter, you create your shelter, you create your world. Or that's a part of your journey now, is to create that for you so you can purify and see the things that have been creating chaos for you. Empathy. There's more beneath the surface. Some of you guys need someone to really empathize with your situation, or you having empathy for yourself and understanding, compassion, giving yourself compassion, that there's more to this. It seems, again, I'm getting this vibe that it's like, wow, you have this wealth, you have all of this stuff that's protecting you, and it's amazing, but there's more beneath the surface. And I feel like that's a part of this purification process, is that you're really starting to dive in and kind of sort out, okay, this is why, you know, this is where this stems from. It seems good, but I want to like sort through it. And, you know, especially as the snow is thawing here, I'm feeling like as soon as the snow starts to thaw, while this season in your life kind of passes, you're going to start discovering, you know, new seeds, new life, new things. It's going to make you want to come out. Okay. Some of you guys are actually going to be traveling to a friend or someone, something that's going to give you empathy. It's going to be compassionate, and it's like you are going to go to them and they're going to nourish you. They're going to feed you. They're going to hug you and hold you. Some of you guys are doing that for yourself, or you're taking shelter with, you know, family, just taking a break from life, taking a break from the stress of life. Yeah. Yeah, it's the journey. You guys have been on a really long journey. You've been cracking at it for quite some time. Half the treasure is the journey on the path to finding it. That's a part of this life, is realizing that everything really truly is a journey. I mean, even the focus of this reading, the pick a card reading, is about the journey. And I'm just seeing you kind of like being free to dance, being free to really express yourself. Take inspiration from the moonlight dancing on the surface of the sea. I feel like you're going to see so much of yourself by being empathetic, and, you know, there's more going on to this. You've gone through a lot. You've taken shelter, you've created shelter, or you're going to. But there's some things that while you're doing that, they're going to come to your awakening. They're going to come and say, okay, it's time to journey on, or it's time to face this, it's time to see this. The same thing that scares you is the same thing that you're being protected from, and you're going to unpack and discover that the purest form of yourself is the form that is not scared, that is not limited in any way, shape, or form. And that's the choice that you make. You can choose to stay in the home environment. None of these paths, for my number 3, you literally have the choice. You decide. But I want you to decide, not out of fear, but what is going to be the right thing for you. I feel like some of you guys, the thing that you want to do most, or the thing that you're being called to do most, is going to make you uncomfortable, because you have to uproot what you thought, you know, or that is something so solid and stable for you, and now you have to choose. Okay, do I stay here? Do I do that? I feel like you know. I feel like you know what to do. So number 3 is, I know that this reading is about, you know, you quenching your spiritual thirst, you know, and feeling quenched from this. The biggest thing that I'm seeing from this is that no matter what you decide to do, you're okay. I'm seeing that you are in, spirit is giving me like confirmation that it's okay for you to be here now and being supported. Spirit, that's the spot in your journey right now, is the hearth. Is to have the fire, to have the food, to have comfort, to have support. That is what Spirit is trying to give to you now at this point in the journey. But the other thing is that while you're there, we just don't want you to escape. You know what I mean? Even in a relationship, it's like, well, let's not escape from the difficult decisions. Let's not hide ourselves from each other, even though it's comfortable. So I actually feel like number 3 truly is actually has the biggest blessing, because regardless, they're going to be fine. But it's a little bit about stepping outside of that and you deciding, okay, I'm going to take my growth a little bit further. Because I feel as though number 3 is really going to be nourished and be taken care of regardless, and happy regardless. But it's just you kind of deciding, you know, what do I want to do? Do I want to go on this trip? Do I want to go on this journey? want to commit? Do I want to build? Do I want to invest? All of these things have already been created. And you're being protected regardless. You have wealth regardless. You have stability regardless. This is lasting. This is a home. This is family. This is support. This is nourishment. And I feel like, you know, it's just learning to travel differently. Like, how do you want to travel? And just kind of laying this stuff to rest. That's where you're at in this journey right now, is just kind of, you know, confronting some things. And you decide, again, you choose when you're going to do it. But you kind of confronting some things that you might have been in this space, in this home environment, that you might have been afraid to look at. And then getting help, getting empathy, connecting and partnering up. But either way, I feel like my number 3 is going to be good. You guys are definitely going to be good. It's just ultimately like, how do I want this journey to look? It's literally your choice. Okay, number 4s. Oh, say no more. We have the heart card and we have the ring. Okay, first I'm going to stop right here. Yes, of course, this is about love. This is about commitment. This is about committing yourself and partnering up to the things that want you and choose you. But the word that I'm seeing with this, and the word that's coming out, or what's standing out to me, is this is one individual, this is a separate individual. They are separate entities. It's what makes them different that makes them choose each other. It's what makes you so unique that gives you the ring, that makes that thing commit to you. Yes, there's partnership, but even in this partnership, there's this reminder of Spirit wanting to tell you that it is what makes you unique and individual. That is what is going to bring these two together. That's going to connect you with your heart's desire. That's going to not only connect you with it, but it's going to commit to you. It's going to bond to you. Why? Because there's only one of you. There's only one of your kind. Only you can do what you can do the way that you do it. That's why you're so unique. That's why you stand out. That's why I choose you. That's why I don't want anyone else. I didn't even look at the rest of the cards yet. I don't know what we're dealing with. Death. Total transformation. As I'm looking at this, it's like I'm seeing a person who is sitting at the water, watching the ocean come in and go out, watching it go in and go out, these tides going in and going out, and like this feeling of mourning the loss, mourning these losses, how tough life is. Hold on, what else do we have? The mountain, see? The obstacles. There's been a lot going on for you guys. Number 4 has gone through a lot. I don't even have to look at the rest of the cards, but I will. It's like your path has been really strenuous, is the word that comes through, and you've kind of, it's already happened. You know, it's been so exhausting. Patience, that's the worst thing. You're like waiting. Wandering path, enjoy the journey. Gates of triumph, success expands in your life. Yep, we have justice. Oh my gosh, we have 8 of Cups and we have 4 of Swords. Okay, so it's so interesting to me because I feel as though, especially with the Justice card and the 8 of Cups here, your path, this wandering path, to you, it really does feel aimless. It feels like you've been wandering it alone. It's so interesting too because Spirit, or this card is saying enjoy the journey. And so many of you guys are like, enjoy the journey? Like, I don't think you realize what I've gone through. Spirit is telling me to tell you, like, we see it. We know. We know you're tired. We know that you've been gone. This is almost like a joke. To hear this, enjoy the journey, after all of what you've been going through, after all of what you've experiencing, all of the gates that you've crossed, it's like you've transcended. But yes, we can celebrate that. Yes, there's success there. Yes, that's amazing. But I really feel called to acknowledge your journey up until this point and what that's looked like and what that's felt like for you. These gates that you've had to pass. They call it triumph for a reason because it's not easy. You had to go through something. You had to cross that mountain. You had to climb that mountain to get through that gate, and that's why it's so triumphant. That's why it's so amazing. What I am seeing, though, is mountains. There's mountain here. There's mountains in the horizon. There's the mountains by the cliffs, by the ocean. There's the mountains in the distance. There's the actual physical mountain here. There's so much that you've been treading, that you've been walking step by step by step by step. I really want to say to you that it's that journey, that struggle, that has created the individual of who you are. And that's what is actually going to be supported and celebrated here, is the fact that you've gone through all of these things. Some of you guys, it almost reminds me of a relationship where people have told you to kind of let them go, or someone has been telling them to let you go and they haven't. The loyalty has been there, and you just feel like, okay, if I stay committed to this, is it going to pay off? Like, my loyalty should be rewarded, and it's kind of questionable. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide, especially with the patience card. It's kind of up to you guys to decide. But with cards like the Death card and the Eight of Cups and the Justice, and, you know, and then also we have Patience and the Four of Swords. You have so many, and these obstacles that are around you, you have so many cards that are like, listen, you really need to decide what is worth you being patient with, and what's, you know, worth you committing yourself to. Because, and I really want to ask you almost, is that if this is you putting in that energy into that relationship or that work or that career or that thing, would it do the same thing for you? It almost reminds me of like people who work in corporate America and they give their lives to it. But if they were to die, knock on wood, if they were to somehow be removed or cut out, they would be replaced in 24 hours. But that person has committed their entire life to that corporation, that job. So it's like, really examine your commitments. I'm feeling like from this center in your journey, you've come to a point along your journey and your path where this person here, this angel, I'm going to call it your angel, your guide, is confronting you face to face and says, listen, we want you to have the same level of respect, commitment, loyalty, faith, compensation is a big word that just came through, that you have been giving to it. Sometimes these obstacles, these mountains, maybe they serve a purpose. Well, they always serve a purpose, but I don't want you. It's like this angel is, or this guide is saying, look me in my eyes and be honest. Is the mountain that you've been climbing, is it worth it? That is the blade of truth. You're at a point in your journey where you have to really decide, is it worth it? And the thing is that I don't see you doing this alone. I think the choice, the decision is going to be hard because you're like mourning. You're going to be mourning the loss of it. You're going to feel sad. You're going to feel, you know, defeated almost. You're going to need rest afterwards. But I genuinely don't see you doing it alone. Even as I'm looking at the little fox here, I feel like he's here by himself at this point, but he's got like a family behind him, or, you know, things that he loves or partners that he loves. They're just not in the picture right now. So I feel like you're actually, even as I'm seeing this, there's like things that you don't see that you have to really feel. Even with the Justice card, if this card fell and the power was in your hands, it reminds me of Two of Swords, where you have to like blindfold yourself so you can connect with your heart and your feelings, and then make a decision to leave the mountain or to climb it. But I feel like many of you guys are actually, you've already proven yourself. They know your worth, they know your value. But if you're easily replaceable, then you don't need to be there. And the first thing I said when I started this reading, when I pulled the cards out, was this: what makes you different is what makes them choose you. I feel like you guys, my number fours, are being called right now to partner up and to pass through this gate for success, for partnership, for linking up with things that they're going to choose you regardless, because you're such an individual, because you're so unique, because only you, like they have to choose you. They have to commit to you. They want to, because you have so much to give, and it should not be so stressful all the time. It's almost like you're settling, or that you just like, okay, well, I accept this mountain because this is all that I've known. And the thing is that your guides are sitting here face to face, and they look you dead in the eyes and they say, wait, are you serious? This is the blade of truth. You really think that that's all that we have for you? We have so much behind that you don't even see. It's behind this cloak that I'm protecting. And it's your patience. It's like, I don't know, but my number 4 is, it's like your patience and your commitment is a blessing and a curse. Where you're like, oh, I'm not going to see this. I don't know that this is going on. Like, you know that it's going on. Your same patience, you being patient with this mountain, when you should really be patient and take this journey, and 8 of Cups, you know, go out and go, like, move past the mountains, move past the gate. It's like you measure your success and how much you can tolerate. You measure your, you know, like, I deserve this because look how much I've taken on. And it's like, maybe put your loyalty in something that is just as equally going to reward you. That's what it is that I'm getting. That's why it's like you're kind of like mourning this death, because so much of you is like, I just thought this was going to be different. Like, I thought this was going to be more. I feel like I deserve more. It kind of reminds me of card number 1. That's why I'm seeing someone kind of sitting on the ocean, just watching the waves come in and go out. The ocean is all about purification. But this isn't just any ocean. This is the ocean that's by the cliff. So this is a lot of like wearing you down over time. And I'm really, this guide is telling you right now, like, listen, that is not all that we have for you, is what you're experiencing now, these mountains, these obstacles. Look me in my eyes and see the blade of truth, and realize that if we put this on a scale of what you've given or what you've received, does it match up with this thing, with the other? And then we're going to tell you to make a choice, make a decision. And if you don't do it, we're going to do it for you. Okay? So along this path, it's this journey, number 4, I feel like has the hardest journey, but I feel like the thing is that the major obstacles that you've experienced, I honestly feel like you've passed through those gates. That is the thing that's going to quench your thirst. And realizing that was the first thing I want to start off with, is that you are going to link up with, if you choose to, put that loyalty, match that loyalty. That loyalty is going to be matched with the right thing, the right people, the right. And it's not going to be something that's going to wear you down. If you're going to be patient with this person or this thing or this job or whatever, and you're going to get an obstacle, then you might as well take that same patience and get something that's going to reward you and honor you, and that you're going to love it. It's going to be given to you back in return. That's the thing about the Justice card. It says, literally, look me in my eyes and realize that that's not what you've been given, what you've received, what's been going on in this scale, that we're just, to us, it's just a sprinkle in time. Like, it's just like a little thing here. Like, this is nothing to us. So look me in my eyes and see the truth, because there's more to your life than what you've experienced here, and we want to make sure that it's balanced. And that's the thing with the Lenormand, is that when we get this combination, it's not commitment because you feel like you have to. It's not commitment because you don't have another choice and that you have to settle. This is commitment because your heart loves it and it loves you. And the Justice card is like, before you go through these gates and go into, remember, the gates of triumph, before you pass through these gates that we're protecting right now, we want you to see the truth, because we don't want you to repeat the same things and end up having to feel like you have to fight for the things that you love, or that you have to fight or force it. That's not the way that it should be. That's why a little bit of you guys has to kind of mourn this, but I don't really see you mourning it. I just feel like you're going to pass through these gates and start wandering, and you're going to cross paths with something that is better. But for right now, along your journey, you definitely need rest and to see it. And it's hard. Yeah, direction, voyage. You guys are being called in a different direction than what you've currently been going. Like, why climb the mountain, go up the mountain when you can go around it? Like, why are you choosing the hard way? Again, if you're going to be loyal to anything and you're going to have patience regardless, either with this person, with this job, with this opportunity, whatever, that patience might as well be put into, that time might as well be put into something that's going to equally match you. So it's like, I feel like I had to say all of that just to show you that this is what is behind the gate. This is what's behind the cloak. Set sail on a new course. This is 8 of Cups, like which you've actually pulled, the 8 of Cups. There's a new course that you're walking. Direction. Trust your inner compass and find your bearings. Find yourself. That's why you guys are on the ocean right now. I don't know why that just dropped out.